Well, hey, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for being here tonight at Connect Group. My name is Dominic Insenius. I'm the leader here at The Heart, and I'm grateful for you to be able to be here tonight going through some of these questions with us. That I believe that we're all on a journey of faith, and here at The Heart, we know that that works better when we're able to go through that journey together, when we're able to get into each other's messes, and that is the essence of these Connect groups. So if it's your first time tonight, we're going to have a few questions that are based on the message from Sunday, but even if you weren't there, you can still be a part of the conversation. And if you've been coming to group for a while, I want to encourage you to share from your heart, to share some of the thoughts and feelings that you have. And I want you to know that when you do that, you help all of us grow and take steps in our journey of faith. So I want to encourage you to be bold tonight. Now, Sunday, we finished our series that we've been in called Essence, and what we looked at was the essence of your purpose. So we had a few scriptures that we looked at. I want you guys to be able to look at them in different translations, different versions of the Bible. One was in Matthew, one was in Galatians, and one was in 1 Corinthians. And I'll put the scriptures up on the screen here in a moment. But the gist of what we were talking about on Sunday was, what is your purpose? How do we get to know and understand your purpose? Because if we look at the Bible hoping to find a career path, the Bible is very, very quiet on what our career should be or what our job should be. But if we look in the right places and we try to understand the essence of what the authors are saying, we might be able to find exactly what our purpose is, what God meant for us to be. Maybe we can't find exactly what God wanted us to do, but we can find who God meant us to be. So with the first question tonight, I want to start off thinking about your purpose, and I want to know what comes to mind when you think about finding or understanding your purpose. When I say, do you know your purpose? What do you think about? When I say, are you looking to find your purpose? What do you think about? So let's take a few minutes to dig through that and see what you guys think. All right, for this next question tonight, I want us to read Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. And this might sound familiar for a lot of us. We maybe learned it in preschool or in elementary school. A lot of people refer to it as the golden rule. So let's look at it in a couple different translations and see what you guys think there. And what I want to know is from this, if Jesus is taking the liberty, if he is taking the huge risk of saying all of the teachings of the law, all of the prophets, everything that people thought they were supposed to know and memorize, understand, he's saying the essence of all of that boils down to treating people the way that you want to be treated. And what I want to know from you is, how does what Jesus said about this, how does that connect to your life now? Maybe do you see that showing up in your life? Do you wish it would show up more? Do you see that in the people around you? And maybe just for consideration, for discussion, it's not necessarily the question, but I just want to know what you guys think is, what would Jesus say the summary of our whole Christian Bible is now? Maybe what if he read the New Testament, he read all the new things that we have to say that after Jesus died and everything that was written, what would he say the essence of those writings are? So let's take a few minutes, let's explore some conversation here and see what you guys think, and we'll see you in a second. All right, now for this next one, I also want to read one of the scriptures. It's 1 Corinthians 13, verses 1 through 3. And Paul here, the author of 1 Corinthians, he uses some pretty dramatic language. And I want to know your opinion. Why do you think he uses such dramatic, outlandish type of examples for things that we could do, and then compare that to love? And then maybe what does it seem to Paul that is so important? What is the most important when it comes to these things? And going from that, I want to know in your life, how does that affect how you see your purpose, if it does? And if it doesn't, I want to know, maybe explore that a little bit. Why don't you feel like it affects you in what your purpose is in life? So let's take some time to dig into that and see what you guys think. All right, now for the last question tonight, it's all about application, understanding how we can bring this into our life. And so for this last question, what I want to know is, if the essence of who God is, if the essence of who Jesus is love, then how can we use that? How can we use what God has done through Jesus? How can we use the words and the actions and the teachings of Jesus to empower us to love the people that God has put in front of us, to love the people around us, to love our neighbors, to love our co-workers? How this week will you allow that to show up in your life? And just maybe we can step into the essence of what our purpose is, and that is to love people the way that God has loved us. So this is going to be the last question tonight. So I want to leave this here, but I want to invite you to come to our new series that we're starting this coming Sunday, this Sunday, 9:30 and 11, called The Not So Old Testament. We're going to be digging through the Old Testament and looking at how people and the things that they were dealing with way back then is not so different than what we're dealing with now, and what lessons of wisdom can we learn from them. So that's starting this Sunday, 9:30 and 11. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you so soon. Love you. Bye.